Welcome, dear soul, to a journey into the silent realms of spiritual wisdom. In our modern world, we are constantly surrounded by noise, physical, mental, and emotional. From the endless chatter of social media to the persistent demands of daily life, it feels as though true silence has become a rare commodity. Yet, throughout history, mystics, sages, and spiritual seekers have emphasized the importance of stillness as the key to unlocking higher wisdom. In this video, we explore the profound power of silence, not just the absence of sound, but the stillness within. What happens when we stop chasing answers and allow ourselves to dwell in quietude? What spiritual insights emerge when we embrace silence? And how can it guide us on our path of personal growth? Let's embark on this exploration of stillness, where silence becomes not an empty void, but a wellspring of wisdom and spiritual transformation. The noise within. Understanding mental clutter. Before we can embrace silence, we must first acknowledge the noise that dominates our inner world. This noise comes in many forms: racing thoughts, unresolved emotions, and constant mental dialogues that often distract us from the present moment. In many spiritual traditions, this is referred to as the monkey mind, a restless, unfocused mind that jumps from one thought to another without pause. How often do you find yourself lost in thought, unable to quiet your mind? This mental noise, while normal, creates a barrier between us and the deeper spiritual truths that lie within. Instead of being present, we are consumed by the endless loops of worry, desire, and distraction. In the modern world, this mental chatter is only amplified by external stimuli: notifications, emails, conversations. Each adds another layer to the already cluttered mind. And yet, the key to spiritual growth lies not in silencing the world around us, but in learning to quiet the noise within, the power of stillness, a gateway to higher consciousness. Once we recognize the noise within, the next step is cultivating stillness. In spiritual practices, stillness refers not just to physical quiet, but to a deep inner calm, where the mind is no longer distracted by external thoughts or emotions. This state is often reached through meditation, contemplation, or simply sitting in silence. Many spiritual traditions speak of stillness as a gateway to higher consciousness. In the Christian tradition, mystics like Meister Eckhart spoke of the divine silence, where one can experience union with God. Similarly, in Buddhism, the practice of mindfulness and meditation is centered on quieting the mind to access a deeper awareness of reality. Have you ever experienced a moment of true stillness? It is in these moments, when the mind is no longer agitated, that we can access a deeper state of being. Instead of seeking answers outside ourselves, we begin to hear the subtle whispers of wisdom from within, listening to the voice of silence. Insights beyond words. One of the greatest challenges on the spiritual path is learning to trust the silence. In our culture, we are often taught that answers come from external sources, books, teachers, or authorities. But the wisdom of silence is different. It doesn't shout or proclaim. It whispers softly, often in ways that are beyond words. The ancient Taoist sages believed that the highest wisdom could not be spoken, only felt or intuited. Laozi, in the Tao Te Ching, said, "The Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao." This speaks to the idea that true spiritual insight arises not from intellectual understanding, but from a deeper, wordless knowing that emerges from silence. When was the last time you sat in silence, not seeking to find answers, but simply allowing yourself to be. It is in these moments of quiet receptivity that we begin to sense the deeper truths of our existence. The mind may not always comprehend, but the heart understands the role of meditation, a path to inner silence. Meditation is one of the most well-known practices for cultivating inner silence, whether practiced in a formal or informal setting. Meditation invites us to step away from the noise of daily life and enter a space of stillness. However, meditation is not about forcing the mind into silence. Rather, it's about observing the mind without attachment, allowing thoughts to come and go like passing clouds. In Zen Buddhism, the practice of zazen is central to this approach. Zazen, or seated meditation, involves sitting quietly and observing the thoughts that arise, without judgment or resistance. Over time, this practice leads to a natural stilling of the mind, where the practitioner can experience moments of deep inner quiet. Have you ever tried sitting in meditation, simply observing your thoughts without trying to control them? It's a practice that can feel challenging at first, especially in a world that prizes productivity and action. But as we practice, we begin to realize that true wisdom often arises in the spaces between thoughts, the silence of nature, a teacher of stillness. While meditation is an intentional practice, nature offers us another path to silence. Have you ever noticed how being in nature can bring a sense of peace, even without effort? The natural world, untouched by human noise, operates in a state of stillness and harmony. The wind, the trees, the flowing water, all move with a silent grace that speaks to the deeper rhythms of life. Many spiritual seekers find solace in spending time in nature because it mirrors the stillness they seek within. The Taoists revered nature as a manifestation of the Tao, the underlying flow of the universe. By observing the quiet wisdom of the natural world, we are reminded of our own connection to that same flow. When was the last time you allowed yourself to be fully present in nature, without distraction? Nature, in its simplicity, invites us to let go of our mental noise and return to a state of quiet awareness. In this state, we realize that silence is not something to be achieved. It is our natural state of being, embracing the unknown, the silence of mystery. One of the reasons we resist silence is because it often brings us face to face with the unknown. In silence, we must confront the deeper questions of existence, questions that may not have easy answers. Who am I? What is the purpose of life? What lies beyond this physical reality? While these questions can feel overwhelming, silence teaches us to embrace the mystery rather than fear it. In many ways, the spiritual path is not about finding definitive answers, but about learning to dwell in the mystery with an open heart. The unknown is not something to be feared but explored, and silence provides the space for this exploration. How comfortable are you with the unknown? For many, the silence of mystery can feel unsettling, but it is in this space of not knowing that we are most open to receiving spiritual insight. Instead of seeking certainty, we learn to trust the unfolding of life's deeper truths. In a world filled with constant noise, the spiritual practice of silence becomes a radical act. By embracing stillness, we step away from the distractions that keep us disconnected from our true selves. We begin to listen to the subtle wisdom that arises from within, trusting that the answers we seek are not found in the external world, but in the quiet depths of our own consciousness. As you move forward on your spiritual journey, remember that silence is not the absence of life, but its essence. It is in stillness that we hear the voice of the divine, guiding us toward a deeper understanding of who we are and why we are here. Embrace the silence, dear seeker, and allow it to transform you from within. How has silence shaped your spiritual journey? Share your experiences in the comments, and let's explore together how embracing stillness can lead to profound inner growth. Begin your practice today and see how the power of silence reveals wisdom within.